Hey, it's Tim.
And it's Amy from GoWithLess. Welcome to our channel. We're glad to see you. Today we're going to be talking about our July numbers. We're talking about our spending for July. We're talking about our YouTube earnings for July. And what we're going to throw in is how much we spent on the 7-week trip we just came back from to France and to Italy.
If you're new to our channel, please be sure and hit that subscribe button. We introduce a new video every Wednesday. Also be sure and hit the little bell so that you're notified when we come out with those new videos. Be sure and give us a thumbs up. And with that, let's get going. The second Wednesday of every month, we're going to be talking about our numbers. We introduced that back in July and talking about our June numbers, and this month in August, now we're going to be talking about our July numbers.
And here's the really cool thing. Our numbers for July are kind of boring. When you're talking about spending, I think you kind of want boring numbers.
Darn
so
tootin'.
I hope that you'll stay tuned because the whole video isn't boring, but we're going to blip right through our spending because it was kind of reasonable. We talked in that last video that we were over budget and we were needing to rein it in because we had some outlier expenses. We paid for insurance, for example, for the whole year in the first half of the year. We paid for some trip stuff in the second half of the year, in the first half of the year. So things like that we'd already paid for, and we're going to be taking advantage of that in the second half of the year. So our entire spending for the month of July, everything was $2,584. We're going to share how we broke that out.
Yeah. And our largest expense last month, as you might expect, is going to be travel. And that was $1,439. And what that includes is anything to do with us being in Europe, whether that's dining or entertainment or any costs that are there, as well as any travel expenses that we're incurring real time. So if I buy a plane ticket for next July and it happens in July of this year, then that's going to be accounted for this year.
And just as a note, we're going to be breaking that travel down in the future until we kind of become nomadic over the next few months, because we're going to be evolving with breaking down our travel. We're not there yet because we still have a home and it's just a lot to break down. So with that, I'm going to get to category number 2, and that is our health. It's $463. The majority of that is our second healthcare. We have 2 different kinds of healthcare plans. We're going to put a video up here about our 2 different plans, so feel free to go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. And it also includes $100 a month for our gym. We couldn't put it on pause, and it kind of kills me because we weren't at the gym. We weren't even in the country.
Yep.
But $100 for our gym, there you go.
Our utilities back at home, so back in Colorado, were our third largest expense. That was $391. And we're paying for things back at home. We're not even there to take advantage of them. It's HOA fees, it's our gas, it's our electricity, things like this. So all those things are accounted for in utilities. And again, we're not there to even take advantage of the fact that we're paying for them.
That's exactly right. Now, the next category is a little, I'm going to go with a little embarrassing. Our YouTube channel, just on a side note, our YouTube channel has pushed me to reveal things to the public that I never thought that I would, and here you're going to see one coming up. There are 2 things that I pay quite a bit of money for. I'm not super price conscious about shoes because I'm walking sometimes 10 miles a day. I have really high arches and I need really quality shoes. So I am not so price conscious on shoes, and I want really good ones. The second one, bras. So I bought 2 very high quality bras. About $135 of bras was in the month of July, and that made the entire month of shopping was $186. Tim bought a couple pairs of shorts while we were on the road. Tim lost so much weight, I guess. His shorts were gigantic, falling off of him. So he bought 2 like lean European shorts. He looks fabulous.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Our last category is what we're going to call other, and this is sort of a placeholder category for all things that are under $100. So this might be in one month if something's really large, and it's really small the next month, it actually might fall in this other category. But we spent $105 last month in this category, and it was primarily a gift, and there were a couple of things.
Personal care, a little bit of entertainment. We have like Hulu and Spotify for maybe $11. That's together. So $105 with all that. That was almost entirely a gift. Was $75. I'm going to get into our YouTube revenue. For the month of June, we had earned $310. And I guess you probably would be going up, up, up. We did not. We were at $271 in YouTube earnings last month. What I'm thinking that is because we had a video go really big, it's still getting close to 1,000 views every 2 days, which just blows my mind. But it was even higher a month ago. So I think that's why our YouTube earnings are kind of falling down a little bit, but it was $39 less, $271. Just as a side note, that meant that the two of us earned about $135 a month, and that's a lot of work for $135 a person. We're thankfully doing our YouTube channel, not for the money. We're doing it hopefully to provide some education and entertainment. And by the way, we get an enormous amount of tips and advice from our audience. So extra side note, thank you if you have ever given
Definitely
us good
thank
tips,
you.
because we've probably taken a lot of them from
No
our
doubt
audience.
about it, yes.
Yeah. And this leads us to the more exciting piece of our video, and that is how much we spent on our entire trip. So while the video is July, our trip was 7 weeks. It was a lot more than July, obviously. It started in the middle of June and went to the beginning of August. It was 49 days. We started with 2 weeks in the French Alps in Crolles, and we left for 11 days, toured parts of Italy and a little bit of France, and came back to the house sit for another 3 weeks. So when you add in our travel and stuff like that, it equaled 49 days. That would be 7 entire weeks. And let's share how much that entire trip was for 2 people.
Actually, before we do that, I'm going to talk about how
Teaser.
I account for the numbers versus how Amy accounts for the numbers. So I track everything that we spend in Quicken, so that those are real-time expenses. Amy tracks everything that we do on a given trip in a spreadsheet. So she does all this manually by hand, and every day we sit down and talk about the numbers and what we spent for the day. So everything that I do in Quicken is real time. If we spend a nickel today for something that's going to happen in June of next year, that's accounted for this month. Whereas on the spreadsheet that Amy keeps, if I bought a ticket for France last year in November and we ultimately take the flight in July, she's going to account for that in July, whereas I accounted for that in November.
If that doesn't make sense, please mention that down below. So I guess I'm going to do the big reveal. Our 7-week trip for 2 people to Europe. This includes everything from the minute we left our house. That includes getting to the airport. That includes airfare, everything. Was it was basically $3,300. So $3,304.53. We're going to call that $3,300, which is $66.09 a day for the two of us. Certainly house sitting was a massive win on this one, but we used award travel all the way through. We had free tickets to get to and from Europe, and we didn't use a lot of points. We only used 60,000 points each person. We went in high season, but we were able to find value pricing, because even though we're using free awards, we still want to get a really good redemption. We don't want to blow them more than we need to, because we want to be able to go as often as we can. So we're really careful with our points, and I was able to find some good value flights, and
as well as some hotels.
yeah,
So
and then, well, that was the flights. And then we also had a whole bunch of free nights at hotels. We had 3 free nights in Milan. We had 3 free nights in Turin, Italy. We had a couple free nights at the end in Lyon, France, all thanks to credit card award points. And I'm going to put up a video here. If you're in the US, you haven't done the whole credit card thing, or you're ready to get a new credit card, we're working with our friend Zach over at Travel Freely. A video's up here about it. If you were like, how are they getting all this free travel? It is from award travel and credit cards, and Travel Freely helps us do that. So here we go up here. But what we're estimating is that we saved about $8,500, just over $8,500, thanks to like hacking. That would include staying at a house sit. That would include our flights and things that we told you about.
So something that also we've said in the past, that a house sit is the ultimate travel hack, and we're sort of changing our thinking on that. We still believe it is the ultimate travel hack. However, for us. However, there's something that comes along when you think about a travel hack. A lot of people put it out there like this is a free hotel stay. House sitting is nothing like that. House sitting implies that you're responsible for making sure that the homeowners have peace of mind while they're away, or at least that's the way we approach it. So it's not just a free place to stay.
That's right. So we still like it as a travel hack because we travel and we use house sitting, but it isn't a traditional travel hack. Let's just call it that.
There you go.
Yeah. So next week, I'm going to give a little teaser. I don't know that I've done this too often in our channel. What we're talking about next week, and sometimes it doesn't work out and we talk about something different because we don't record these far in advance. Or really, let's just be honest, we really only record these sometimes a day or two in advance. But anyway, what we're planning to talk about next week is why get rid of our home and what went into getting rid of our home when we're getting ready to be full-time nomads. We get this is kind of like a question / like amazement from people like, you're getting rid of your home. I could never do that. So we're going to be talking about that because we did learn quite a bit this summer about where we are on this. And I think that there's a little bit of mixed feelings. So I hope that you will stay tuned to that next week. Again, as Tim mentioned, please subscribe down below. Ring the bell so you're notified. Give us a thumbs up. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Adios.